And that's reflected, and I just want to sort of walk a little bit through the journey of your books. So
Sure.
the first book that you wrote is Beyond Democracy, Igniting the South African Renaissance. And that's exactly what
Right.
you're speaking to now. And you pick up this word Renaissance in your other books as well. It's obviously a word that ignited something for you. What
Mm.
is it about that word, and what is it about Renaissance that is so important for you?
The whole concept of rebirth, you know, if we really, if, you know, for me, it was really dying as a country to the old ways, you know, really, and being born as new people. We haven't given ourselves a chance to die. And I don't mean that literally, but I mean that emotionally and also spiritually and even the way we think more than anything else. You know, our thinking process has to die. Racism has to die. Poverty has to die. Um, the education system that is not creating critical thinkers has to die. I can go on and on, you know. So those things have to die so that we can be reborn as, you know, in a new perspective, in a new way of being, you know, so that we can start now enjoying the new society that we're trying to, we just a combination of a new society and an old society, you know. So that's why things are not working. You know, we've dragged along the old stuff. That stuff has to die, and for it to die, we have to be conscious. We have to make deliberate and conscious interventions that will help us overcome that. We need to take deliberate steps. We have to put our heads, you know, on the guillotine and chop off those ideas that still work against us till this day. So the whole and I throw it back to the, you know, historical context as well. You know, when you look at the Dark Ages, where it all started from, you know, the era of the time was not working for the people. You know, it wasn't. It was very oppressive. And the, you know, knowledge seeking was very limited. If you were a seeker of knowledge, you could even face death. You know, when you look at the arts, you look at engineering, you look at science, that period, if you weren't following whatever the kings and the queens were saying was the way, you would literally risk death. And it took courageous people to say, no, that way of thinking has to go away. I will become the next best artist. I will show the truth. I will shed light. And they risk their lives for it. So we are back years later in 2020, and we're suffering the same thing, where we actually have to say, some of us have to say, no, we have to move out of this darkness. We need a rebirth. And we are also doing it at the risk of being excluded, or not listened to, or because it obviously disturbs the status quo. You know, it disturbs because the power base benefits from people being blinded, or from not seeking knowledge and wisdom and enlightenment, you know. So yeah, so for me, I'm at that point where we say history is repeating itself again, and we need a new level of rebirth.
You speak like a revolutionary, Ntsikelelo.
maybe I am a bit.
Maybe you are. Maybe you are.